$1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
FEMA funding is available to support repairs on private roads and bridges, even if your primary home is not damaged. For more information or to schedule an inspection, call 1-800-621-FEMA. Again, call 1-800-621-3362.
You can make it a December to remember with Asheville Smiles Cosmetic and Family Dentistry and take the steps to get the smile that you want for the new year. On December 19th, they are having an Invisalign scan day. You stop in for a free simulated 3D scan that shows you how your teeth could look after Invisalign treatment. And then if you choose to move forward with your smile makeover, you're going to receive $1,500 off treatment. It makes it the best price on Invisalign in North Carolina. To find out more and reserve your spot at the event, visit AshevilleSmiles.com today. Again, it's AshevilleSmiles.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 The Sportsocracy. Heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel, and join us in the chat. It's another day here in the Ingalls studio.
Hi, haters. How you doing?
Jeremy's here, fresh off of our latest hate mail.
Oh, I love those. I do love that people that say we're fat idiots. Meanwhile, in 5 years, nobody's ever said that to my face. You know why? Because you don't want to pick your teeth up off the floor. John, hey, John. Nice to see you.
Hey, John. We're glad you're listening, whether you like us or not.
I don't care if you like me or not.
We're always glad to hear from our faithful listeners all across Western North Carolina.
Right before the cameras turned on, I bet him, how long do you think it takes before I say this? And he looked at me and went, I don't think I could say a number that small.
Yep. No.
It's happening.
No. Yep. As he likes to say, he is the king of petty.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't get to bite back at hecklers, which is it's really the saddest part of this job for me. Is that when you call me a lot of fun. When you call me a fat loser, I don't get to go, oh, you look at yourself lately? Because I'm looking right at you.
Well, from these fat losers to you, we welcome everybody into the program.
Wish you a Merry Draftmas. Indeed. We wish you a Merry Draftmas.
Draftmas rolls on. Flostradamus continues to make the preparations for the latest mock draft. Or I guess the first mock draft of the season.
Yeah. We're way behind this year compared to where we usually are.
We find ourselves still sitting here waiting for the news to come out of Chapel Hill. You getting more concerned by the minute about this? Because I am.
No.
Really? Think it's just a formality?
Well, because I can't figure out. Yet. All right, let's say you don't give Bill everything he wants. Where are you headed now?
That's the fear. That's the fear, is that there are some in the administration that are kicking back going, we've never spent this much on football before.
If you want to be good, you're fitting to.
The latest rumors are that an offer has been made to Bill Belichick, but we don't know any of the particulars on that the particular details on that possible contract. But there is scuttlebutt that he demanded $20 million in NIL. And look, if you want to compete in college football these days, you're going to have to come with a war chest like that. $12 million from the revenue share that goes into effect this year, and then another $8 million for NIL on top of that from boosters and collectives and however that money comes together.
It's a money game.
Yeah, well, the latest scuttlebutt is that we did make an offer as the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. However, it was not close to the funding that he reportedly wanted. So good, guys. We're doing this again. See, you get to a point as an organization where you can only you can only promise so much, right? You can only come to the people so many times and say, hey, I got this great idea, and then backpedal on it. You're going to get left behind if you don't act now. And I think that's what everybody whose idea it was, whoever those people are, to go out and get Bill Belichick, they know that. They're the smart ones in the room. Whatever opposition is being thrown out behind closed doors from the board of trustees or whoever, to me, this has got to be the age-old, we don't need to spend that much on athletics. Academics is still our thing.
Academia is where we make all of our... Oh, yeah, it's not, actually.
Yeah,
I get it, you're a university, but if you want to contend in football, look around the landscape.
Right.
Hey, your biggest rival is who? Carolina's biggest rivals, who?
Duke.
Oh, yeah. They just signed the number one transfer quarterback in the country. Dorian Mensah from Tulane just signed with Duke an hour ago. So, look, if you don't want to contend, that's fine. But don't be shocked when Jeff Monken tells you no.
Right.
And when he does, don't be shocked when you look around and go, oh, wait. Maybe we have to take our swing at Jamie Chadwell now. Or... Actually, would he be higher on that list than Jeff Monken? I don't think Jamie Chadwell would be interested. I mean, he has a limitless pocketbook of Jerry Falwell dollars.
Right.
I think he's fine.
Someone's gonna be, obviously, because it's a Power 5 job. However, is that someone anywhere close to what you could have had with Bill Belichick? And the answer to that is unequivocally no.
Well, because if Glenn Schumann took your call, he's going to want the same thing. Mm-hmm. I want the ability to spend money in the portal and spend money in recruiting. So that's one you won't get. Jeff Monken has no money to spend because they can't do deals with their players. We're officially at a point in college athletics that the rubber has met the road. There are just certain institutions that flat out care more than you do. Alabama cares more than you do. Georgia cares more than you do. You're never going to be that. Even with Bill, you're not that. Could you have a year? Make the playoffs? Maybe have a win or two? Sure. But this is where you have to prove, do we care? Mm-hmm. Are you actually a brand, or are you a cute little logo with some nice uniforms and a little Jordan logo on it that's never going to compete for squat?
And can I just send a message out to all of my fellow Tar Heels? We love basketball, and we know that's what we do. But if this year and the last several years are not the biggest ass red flag you ever needed to go, we're not built for this anymore.
No.
The Carolina way is gone. It does not work in this game. You can whine and you can complain about it all you want to, but things don't work that way anymore. You're not going to go out here and build a team of, 5-year stars that are going to come in as freshmen and be here forever. That's what we want, right? We were competing for a national championship just 2 years ago based on that very thing. We're more seasoned than everybody else. You're going to get left behind if you try to do that. And I have a fear that that's what everybody thinks. Oh, well, we're Carolina. And the Carolina way always sells. Not these days.
Where in the top 25 do you think Carolina falls in among athletics revenue?
You mean of the top 25 teams right now? Or where in the top 25 are they?
Where in the top 25 among schools in the Power 5 do you think they fall in athletic revenue?
I'd say it's probably 20.
It was a trick question. They're not in it.
Oh, okay.
You know who he is? Ohio State's 1.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M's 2. Texas is 3. Michigan's 4. Georgia's 5. Nebraska's 6. Penn State's 7. Tennessee's 8. LSU's 9. Alabama's 10. Which one of those teams is trending the wrong direction? Alabama, I get it. They lost Nick Saban. I don't care how much money you have. You lost the best coach in the history of the sport. you're going to be trending downward slightly. They're still getting players.
Mm-hmm.
Recruiting class is still in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Transfer portal is going to be pretty active. You don't see there, and you don't see as you scroll down this list, you don't see North Carolina. You don't see Duke. You don't see Kentucky. Kentucky's 16. It's almost all on the back of football because they have a huge revenue from the SEC. Mm-hmm. Of the teams in the top 25, half of them play in the SEC.
Yep.
And they're all on an upward swing. Carolina, you're falling behind solely because of the conference you're in. If you don't believe me, take a good hard look at Florida State and Clemson right now. But Clemson made the playoff. Yeah, watch what happens when they get there. You're going to see what big boy transfer portal money will buy you.
Yep. It ain't cute, and it ain't fun. I mean, it can be fun watching your team win 11 games in the regular season and then just get left behind when you get to the playoff. Sounds a lot like Dallas Cowboy football, doesn't it? Right? You might have 1 10-win year every 100 years, and then all of a sudden you get into the playoffs, and it doesn't matter. You want to continuously contend and try to in both sports? There's one thing it's going to take: money.
And you're going to need a deep pocketbook, and you're going to need to have the access to it
mm-hmm.
at all times.
Mm-hmm. I heard Michael Jordan and his crew were getting on a flight late last night.
I'm
heading to Chapel Hill to go meet with Bill.
I'm to the point of, if you're Carolina, you have to get this done.
Yes.
I don't care what his objections are. I don't care how much money he wants. I don't care how much he wants in NIL dollars. It doesn't matter. You satiate him. You've gone too far down the rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
You could have had this conversation. You could have had prolonged conversations if we never heard about it. Problem is that now we have.
Mm-hmm.
So any other hire is dead on arrival.
Yep.
And it may not work with Bill. I have no idea.
And if it doesn't happen, you can guarantee there will be changes.
If it doesn't happen, whoever they hire will be gone in 4 years. I'll bet you anything you want. We will have a new president, but we will have a new coach at North Carolina before we have a new president. I could not figure out how to say that in a way that made English sense.
Yeah. It won't take long. Because we won't have we won't have the same athletics director.
No.
By the time this president-elect takes
it wouldn't
the
be
stand.
It wouldn't be that fast.
You don't think so?
I know so. That's
this thing could go completely sideways.
That's not how it works with athletic departments. Now, could I see him say he's going to voluntarily retire by the end of July? Sure. That's not a position that you go, hey, you didn't satiate this, because there's boosters and athletics budgets and things. That doesn't move that fast. But I could easily see by the time we kick off another Carolina football game, you have a new athletic director.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, that's not even – I don't even really care about that. I don't care who the AD at North Carolina is. What I care about is that you would basically be signaling to the transfer portal – every high school age kid, we don't care enough. When we had the best coach in the history of the NFL, we had the chance to bring him here. He didn't really seem to be interested in anybody else because he's not talking to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
We had the chance to bring him here. We could not make the money work because we're too cheap. And that's what you're signaling to all of these kids, which basically means for the next decade you can just roll over and die. You try to sell me on Jeff Monken all you want to, it's not going to work. Jamie Chadwell, the name you said earlier, I don't think he would take it.
Well, this is it's a precipice moment. You're at like an apex here.
Mm-hmm.
You are at the road less traveled, right? You're the fork in the road. Which one are you going to take? The road less traveled is a lonely road,
for sure,
and it leads to one spot, getting left behind.
I think it's deeper than that. It's not even just getting left behind.
Mm-hmm.
You know where Washington State's at right now?
Mm-hmm.
Of we can't find a place to play because nobody wants us.
Uh-huh.
you're so damn close to that, it's pathetic.
Yep.
Because Florida State, Clemson, Miami, Louisville, all these high-end, in terms of they have money, they're getting out of the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
I know we haven't talked about this lawsuit in a slew of months. It's coming back.
No doubt.
It's coming back, and I have it on good authority from Florida State. They have a loophole that will get them out.
That's why I feel like there is something going on. I don't know what it is. Everybody's talking about it. All the insiders in Carolina, nobody knows what the hell's going on. You got insiders that are tied to these people and insiders that are tied to other people, and they're all getting conflicting information because...
Come on, you know why that is.
Why?
Bill's been notoriously quiet, and Bill doesn't have people.
Sure.
That's where you get a ton of this information.
But that's what I'm saying. These people have people, and their people don't even know what's happening.
Well, it's impossible for you to... All right, so in a negotiation, somebody has to be telling you something for your people to know anything.
Mm-hmm.
The only one right now that really knows is Bill. Bill doesn't have people. Bill's got an agent and him.
And a dog.
And sorry, the dog ain't talking. So any information you hear out of Carolina, that 400-page manifesto, whatever it is you've heard, it's probably lies.
Maybe.
I have to say probably, just because there is an off chance that somebody in the athletic department went, can you believe this?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that trickled down. Outside of that, nobody has a clue.
Right. So many mixed stories, and the longer this goes on, it just makes you look ridiculous. It makes you look like you don't know what direction you want to go in.
If you don't have an answer by the end of this day, you already look ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll be in day 3 of the portal opening, you don't even know who your coach is. There are only a handful of jobs in college football that are still open. Appalachian State was filled 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
You're North Carolina. And you can't get this right. It's a bad look.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Attention all football fans. Old Spice Swagger Deodorant 4-pack is back at Costco. Get ready to unleash the greatest smell in the NFL. Old Spice Swagger is the ultimate 24/7 odor protection for all the football fanatics out there when used daily. But here's the catch, folks. This limited time offer won't last forever, so head to Costco and grab your 4-pack of Swagger Deodorant. Don't let those game-winning moments be overshadowed by unwanted odors. Get your Old Spice Swagger Deodorant now.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-431-8958. That's 800-431-8958.
This year, we have plenty to celebrate. From reuniting with loved ones, to welcoming new family members, from rediscovering the great outdoors, to perfecting Let's Stay In. At Ingalls, we're so proud to play a part in your everyday adventures and all your celebrations. So here's to taking a pause and taking it all in. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're going to be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Stone Effect. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
It is ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy, live at the Ingalls studio. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. You can join us in the chat by subscribing. What do you do? You got that look on your face like you're enthralled in something over there. It's just... we've got look, we're waiting for the next NFL season or NFL week to kick off, not the next NFL season.
I'm waiting on the next NFL season.
Well, I know as a Jets fan, you've already just cashed it in for this year.
Our quarterback's talking about drones and aliens over New Jersey. I'm done. I am D-U-N-E done.
Aaron's really upset about this, huh?
Oh, I can't with you anymore. Later in this program, we're going to discuss biggest flops of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Have a feeling my green and white New York Jets will be mentioned in that.
That will not be on the board long.
Also, probably talk about the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Dunze's father thinks he would have 1,500 yards with every other team in the NFC North.
I mean, that is a lot of yards.
We've got a lot of issues going on with people and their kids or people and their dads.
Well, there's too much. It's helicopter parenting. That's what it is.
Well, we have an issue right now with Larry Fitzgerald because apparently he tweeted out that Randy Moss's health scare was liver cancer.
Right.
The only problem is that Thaddeus Moss, Randy's son, just eviscerated him on Twitter and said, "My father doesn't talk to you."
Nice.
Larry, for your sake, I hope he was cool with you saying this, and you damn well better hope it's true.
Right. It's not something you generally would just guess at. Right? I mean, I get what led him down that path. We've all seen the pictures of, his eyes were all yellowed out during, what was it, NFL primetime or something. Like, I've seen the pictures. That is evidence of that, but Jordan's was too. Remember during the Last Dance? Mm-hmm. That dude's eyes stay yellow. Probably has something to do with all the cigar smoke and the bourbon that he drinks. Or whatever he drinks. I don't know what his drink of choice is. I just know there's always alcohol when I see Michael.
Hey, here's the thing. Or you could be like me and be a warrior, because mine, you're not.
Yeah, you're not 50 yet, though. So, I mean...
I probably will never make it there.
I was going to say, you keep living like you're living, and if you make it to 50, yeah, you might have some yellering going on.
Good genes, bruh. They call me Levi's because I got good genes, bruh.
So he can hold his liquor, huh? I get what would drive you down that path, but see, as a member of the media, you don't normally say things like that until you know it for sure.
Well, not even that you know it for sure. That's their news to tell, not yours.
Right.
That's not something you just chuck out there on Twitter all willy-nilly like.
Yeah. Don't guess at it. It's never a good idea to guess at other people's health issues.
And Brett Favre, could you stop being in the lexicon? Because you've been involved in 3 stories in 2 days.
Has he really?
3 too many.
I mean, I saw the Mark Gastineau story.
That's the most vocal one.
So with the 30 for 30 of the New York Sack Exchange coming out, the video clip of Mark Gastineau basically just telling Brett Favre that he stole his joy in life
That's
from him.
Not a dude you want to make angry either, because he's crazy.
I mean, he was big emotional. Confronted Brett at an autograph signing, talking about him laying down for Michael Strahan that gave him the 22.5 sacks to set the new record, breaking Mark Gastineau's. He hurt me, Brett. You hurt me.
Mark Gastineau is not a guy you want on the wrong side
No.
of you.
No. What else was Brett in the news for?
He's involved in the Randy Moss thing, too, because he retweeted it.
Okay.
Thaddeus Moss found it because Brett Favre put it out there.
Okay.
Then he went down the rabbit hole. And when the Mark Gastineau thing came out, Terrell Owens decided to chirp up and say, "Hey, Brett, how about you sort out all that government funds you were misappropriating?" Like, dude, can we stop with Brett Favre for just forever?
I want to say Brett's catching strays, but that's not really strays. He's kind of earned all of these.
I'm not going to lie. You
Right.
earned every drop of this.
Right. He put himself in every one of these scenarios. And now I'm just waiting for somebody to bring out the interception picks.
Yeah, when you haven't really done anything of any note in the better part of 5 years and you're trending on Twitter, probably going to be a bad day.
Right. Vince Carter is part owner of an NFL team now.
I did not see this.
You did not see this? He is part of the group that just got approved, and of course the story went away. We had two of these sales.
The Dolphins and the Eagles.
Yes. So, actually, the Bills also just got approved.
What is this, just sell party or
it
stuff
is.
day?
It is. All the deals are getting approved today. So the Buffalo Bills have added 10 non-controlling minority partners to the team's ownership group in a vote approved at the NFL league meetings in Dallas today. Right? So all of these deals came before the committee, and they went, yep, rubber stamped it. Part of the group buying into the Bills is the cousins, Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. They're getting into it. So they have now become part owners of that. You've had both the Philadelphia Eagles and the Miami Dolphins had minority control. Those words were real.
You were 2 words away from saying something real funny.
Probably. The Miami Dolphins had minority non-controlling ownership additions approved today as well.
Just proving John right. One sentence at a time.
The Eagles received NFL approval for the sale of an 8% interest of the team to two family investors. The sale based on the valuation of the team at $8.3 billion.
It sounds about right.
Choo. $8.3 billion. Has Philly always been one of the higher priced, higher valued?
They're up there pretty high.
I would think so, as many fans as they have, their situation there in Philadelphia, being in a big market. Okay. And I'm just, because we just had a team sell for what, 4? Wasn't it 4.5 or something that the Broncos just sold for? Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Was it more than that? I was thinking it was like $4 billion.
I thought it was 6.
Maybe. You may be right about that. I was thinking, man, double for Philly at $8.3 billion. Can't find it.
I'm
looking.
You do have to keep talking. We can't just sit here in silence.
I thought you had found it. That's why I was wondering if you had found that or not. League meetings going on today, so we've got all of these moves in the works. Vince Carter, former North Carolina Tar Heel, getting into the NFL game.
Oh, I overlaid the two. Washington was $6 million. Denver was 4.65.
Okay, all right. So I was close on Denver. I had forgotten about the Josh Harris purchase of the Washington Commanders.
In terms of Philadelphia's valuation, Forbes has them 8 at $6.6 billion.
Mm-hmm. 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 It's a paperwork day today for the NFL. They also announced today at the league meetings that Berlin will be getting their first regular season NFL game in 2025. Apparently to be played at the Olympic Stadium there in Berlin, wherever that is. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
Sorry, I was enjoying the chat. Who was?
Oh dear.
They all basically said the same thing I did. You were moving one word away from what you would have said would have been outrageously funny and would probably have also been the last thing you ever said.
You got to be careful sometimes. Your mind jumps ahead too many words, start mixing things up. It's never good.
Hey, you've only done one show today. For once, you're living my life.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I've still been here the entire time.
Yeah, somehow you were here before me.
Yeah,
I pulled in this morning and went, what are you doing?
You just got so much stuff to get done. If you're out and about today, you just take a moment to yourselves. Everybody say a prayer for Mark Starling and the Starling family. His father's not doing too well. He's taking a south turn on the health. His battle with cancer.
It's very sad.
Screw cancer.
Right here at the
Screw cancer. And if you take a minute today and you say a prayer, say one for the Starling family that they can get on the other side of this thing. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain's done now into the afternoon, falling temperatures into the mid-30s with maybe a snow flurry or snow shower, especially in the hills with some of the gusty winds coming in. The highest elevations could get a snow shower. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, and colder, 25. Thursday, sunshine, breezy, and chilly, 42. Friday, mostly sunny, little bit better, 48. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by eBay. We all got a thing. Yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
I wish I could go to Emma's. Can't do that. My dad's working late. Night shift. Gotta watch the boys. Long shift tomorrow. Get to bed early. So much homework. Breathe. We could get them clothes for Christmas. They're growing so fast. I can just make something. But when? Is this all that's left? I know we have beans. So tired of beans. That'll work. I don't need this one. Hungry. I'm not that hungry. We're fine. If I can get them to bed, I can do my essay. No. What do I do? Not again. Okay. I don't need to wash my hair. We'll turn it back on. Breathe. You're fine. My dad will pay the water bill. We need water now. We really need groceries. We'll figure it out. Breathe. He works so hard. It's okay. We're in this together. Everything's okay. These tips will help, but only a little. Maybe I could get a second job. My dad has a second job. We don't need help. We have each other. But I'm so tired. We can do it alone. We'll figure it out. We've made it this far. But what if they could help? We're fine. We don't need this.
Hi. What's your name?
Anna.
Anna, how are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah? What brings you to the Salvation Army?
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingalls studio.
It's been an
eventful day.
It's been a goofy day. Just 3 more days, Tank. 3 more days.
Yes.
Christmas time.
Yes. Hey, so here's a just a bit outside story for you today. Those of you who live on a farm may know this information, but I was today years old when I found out that hay bales can spontaneously combust with excessive moisture.
We found this out at Radio Ranch today.
I did not know that was a thing, that can happen when hay is baled while still damp and then continues to respire, whatever that means, creating heat and flammable gases that can ignite. The risk of spontaneous combustion is highest in the first 2 to 6 weeks after baling, but can continue if the hay is stored in a damp area. So we have a giant field outside of Radio Ranch, right? And, out in our field where the towers are. Mm-hmm. And they come and they mow it and they bale up all the hay. There's a hay bale that just started smoking this morning all of a sudden.
It's not actively on fire.
No, well,
it's just smoking.
Smoking does mean there is something there. There's an ember or something that is a burden. We have not seen active flames come out of it, but the concern was so great for some of us in the building. I'm going to go ahead and name her. Ariel called 911 and said there's a hay bale on fire.
My morning co-host over the last few days and for succeeding few days.
She told all of us about it, and we went outside and we looked and we went, oh, look, there's smoke coming out of that hay bale. All right, back to work.
I'm not going to lie.
Why does nobody care?
She is such a great person.
I love her.
She values her job. The rest of us are like, take it down.
It's like
me and Eddie Fox were going to light cigarettes off of it earlier. Just, we're good.
We're going to go. I mean, I guess if that one catches and burns, then are the others, because they are moist and damp as well, are they at risk of combusting along with it? I guess. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how the fire department handles this one, though. We'll give you the update. Hey, maybe we'll go out during the commercial break and shoot some video. We'll post it up on the social media so y'all can see what. So if the wet is causing it to catch fire, how you going to put it out?
I asked that question this morning. And I actually brought out 3 dudes. One who was less manly than me, that'd be Tank. Brian Hall, who's probably about equivalent to me, and Zach Davis, our production director, programming director. That's the P I was looking for, who is manlier than I am. I figured, all right, in this consortium, I will be able to figure out what level of action is required. And the 3 of you went, smoking. And turned right back around and walked to the building. I went, okay, and I don't care anymore.
You're like, oh, isn't that neat? And back to what we were doing.
That was your outside.
Yeah, why not? Because it's just the fire department just showed up, and I got an email from Ariel that says I went ahead and called 911. She says it keeps putting out more smoke. It's better to be safe than sorry.
If you hear voices, it's because now everyone that works here has coordinated outside of our studio to look at the fire truck.
Duh, big red truck.
Hey, you ever want to know, radio people, just put flashing lights outside. We'll huddle in like moths to a flame. Hit the super chat button.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
It's from our buddy Soaring Eagle, who had the same idea I did, because his super chat is about my outside story. He said, stock down everything Ohio State. Ohio State Representative Josh Williams has proposed the OHIO Sportsmanship Act.
I hate it already.
Would you like to know what it says?
Would love to.
OHIO would prohibit planting a flagpole and flag in the center of the Ohio Stadium football field of the Ohio State University on the day of a college football game. Name this act the OHIO Sportsmanship Act.
Uh-huh.
Can't happen on the day of a college football competition, whether before, during, or after the competition. And now here's where we get into goofy juice. Whoever violates this section is guilty of a felony in the 5th degree.
A 5th degree felony. I didn't even know felonies had 5 degrees.
I know Nick Lachey had 98
He
degrees.
did. He had a lot of degrees.
He had 93 more degrees than that.
Yes, I think 97 of those came from Trump University.
And I'm not going to lie to you. Right now, Nick Lachey, I heard it. Nick Lachey looks at Ohio State and goes, dude, you're softer than I am. I was in a boy band, and you're softer than I am. You want to make it a felony to plant a flag in that stadium. Now, notice in the wording of that, it's not illegal to plant a flag in a stadium in Ohio. It's only at Ohio State. So what your representative is saying is that you are so soft, a la baby excrement, that you need to make it a felony to do this again.
5th degree felony. Low to mid-level felony offense that is generally considered to be the least serious type of felony, right? So this is like the baby felony. Right? We're going to put that on your resume that you are a convicted felon if you try to plant a flag in the middle of the field. This is usually reserved for crimes such as receiving stolen property.
That's a bigger crime than this.
Motor vehicle title fraud.
Considerably bigger crime than this.
Gambling in some states is a 5th degree felony.
Yeah, okay. Now we're getting into...
I mean, if you're doing like, outlawed poker machines and stuff like that, I'm sure that's probably what that falls into.
Shouldn't be outlawed.
Forgery.
Bigger crime than this.
Credit card and check fraud. And breaking and entering. Could be punishable by 6 to 12 months in prison.
Here's my question. What level of crime is taking a grumper on the sidewalk? Because that's really, we're in about the same boat. Is that like a Class R misdemeanor? Okay, I'll get down with that. Something I pay $125 fine and see ya.
How is this a criminal offense? It's ridiculous.
You want to know why I have no trust or faith or anything in politicians? It's because a guy that was elected by his constituency went, you know what I'm worried about today? I'm worried about a flag being planted at Ohio State. Maybe go do work of some kind, you bum.
This was just trying to get all of those just really make sure that all the Ohio State fans know that he's down with the district. He's out for the cause. Look, he's out getting important stuff done like health care funding and, stopgap spending and things like that. No. Our representative, he wants to make sure that nobody can plant that flag in the center of the O.
So here's what I want to point out to you. Now, I can literally, after an Ohio State game, hand tank a flag and tell him to put it in the middle of the stadium. And while he does that, I can go drop a deuce on the Ohio State logo, and he would be punished more aggressively than I would. I want you to think about what I just said, because that is the dumbest thing you will hear all day.
Yes, indeed. That is pretty dumb. Pretty dumb idea. Coming up later on in the program, Daily Draft today, we're going to get into the biggest disappointments of the NFL season. Was listening to some chatter about that earlier today, and well, as that show was going through their list of 3, I went, "Oh, good God, there's 7 more."
Oh, you asked me this before the show? I got to 7 in my own head.
Right. So with all the disappointments, as we hit the mark where we only have 4 weeks left, we only have 4 games left in the regular season. This usually was our the final stretch power rankings. I remember back in the day we used to do those. We used to do, at the quarter poll of the season, we did a new update. Well, this is where we're at now. We only got 4 games left in the regular season. And who's the biggest disappointment? We'll discuss that in today's Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale.
This part of the season is tough for me in the NFL because you've got half the league that's still playing games, and they're completely irrelevant. Denver beats Indianapolis this weekend. Guess what? We got our 7 teams in the AFC, and nobody's going to preclude that from happening.
No, you get to 9-5. That'll be a 3-game lead, or at least a 2.5-game lead on anybody in the AFC playoff race.
You need a little more in the NFC, but not by a ton.
Mm-hmm. We're just at that point where I don't know. I don't know that I can remember a year more recently that we've had 4 weeks left and there's not really a lot of drama. Right? There's still drama.
The Rams lose to the 49ers this weekend. Washington wins. Atlanta loses. Tampa Bay wins. We got 7 in the NFC.
Mm-hmm. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. You got 5 games this weekend. They all 5 go the right way. We have a playoffs. And it's all over but the crying with 3 full weeks left in the season.
That's insane. I mean, there will still be seeding to be played for by the teams that are in the playoff hunt, but everybody else outside of the playoff hunt it'll be pretty much unreachable. Really, even with just one more loss, Atlanta would be that far behind Tampa that they couldn't catch them?
Well, you would have to look at what that would do. Now you would be 2 full games behind Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa still has games with the Cowboys, Panthers, and Saints, and they would have to lose all 3 of them.
Oh, that's right. And Atlanta plays like Kansas City and Baltimore.
I believe that is right.
I think that's what we talked about yesterday. Yeah, 2 of their 4 games are pretty much foregone conclusions that they're going to lose.
Atlanta's remaining schedules: the Raiders, Giants, Commanders, and Panthers.
Okay, well that's not.
Oh, good. That's gracious.
Not,
if you lose more than one of those, you don't deserve to make the playoffs anyway.
My bad. Remember who we were talking about that with yesterday, but anyway, it would be very difficult. I mean, mathematically, it would still be possible. Tampa wins, Atlanta loses this week. It would be possible for them to still catch them because he still got the tiebreaker.
Houston was the team we were talking about, still plays Kansas City.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, pretty easy schedule, though, for the Bucs remainder of the way. Chargers is going to be tough this week. But other than that, they should at least come out of this with a 10-win season, which just feels so gross. And apparently there's discussion now, or there was some scuttlebutt that Todd Bowles was considering retiring, and it actually made me feel good about the world for a minute. And then he came out and said that's not true. I don't know where the rumor started. I don't know why anybody would want to do that to me. Just play with my emotions like that.
Oh, sorry. Why did I do that? Because it amused me.
He's not even of retirement age, though, is he? Todd Bowles is only like 60.
I don't know how old he is.
I would think at the most. I've never
61.
Really 61. Okay. I mean, that's a long 4 years if I got to wait till 65.
Oh, I mean, retirement for me, 61. I'll either be dead or retired by then.
You won't have to worry about much past that if you make it that far. If you can still see through your yellow eyes at that point.
Listen, Puddin' Pants, I'll make it long past you because I'm a little bit more storm weathered than you are.
I don't know.
Hey, which one of us at this table's had a heart attack? Me or you?
That's all right. To see that, all that means is my arteries have been cleaned since yours have. you got time to catch up now.
You got plenty more arteries in there, big boy.
My other ones are good. All the scans are clear.
Good
Saying,
for you.
I had my cat checked.
Nobody wants to check my cat because they're afraid it'll bite them.
More than likely. You never know what kind of disease you might end up getting from that. But the NFL race is all but done as far as playoff teams are concerned. That's why we split up the power rankings the way we did this week.
There's really no bite. I mean, you look at the schedule of this weekend. All right, you got Lions, Bills, excuse me. Outside of that, what's really sending you? You got Rams, 49ers tomorrow night. That might be the second best game of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else really got you revved up? The Ravens play the Giants. The Texans play the Dolphins.
Steelers, Eagles. Steelers, Eagles got to be that's got to be high. Oh gosh, that's going to be a hard 425 slate for me.
Not for me. I'll watch the Bills and the Lions. You can enjoy the rest of this crap.
I got Tampa and the Chargers, the Bills and the Lions, and the Steelers and the Eagles all going on in the 425 slate on Sunday. That's going to be a lot of fun. Green Bay, Seattle should be good. I mean, there are good games here. There's
a handful of them.
But what's the implication? Right? What do these games mean? It's like going back to the college championship games, right? The conference championship games. Yeah, they're good games, and yeah, these are two teams that we want to see, but what are the implications of these games?
There aren't really any.
Right. There were fewer implications than we'd thought going into the weekend, or at least I thought going into the weekend, because I thought at least the ACC was a good win or go home game. Green Bay and Seattle, both those teams are probably going to the playoffs. Not much changes there.
I struggle to see a path they don't because Seattle's got a full advantage over Arizona because they beat them.
But I mean, that'd give a good opportunity for the Rams to be able to close a window in on Seattle if they drop one to the Green Bay Packers there. It makes things more interesting because the Packers, kind of hang closer to Minnesota and the Lions. They're not catching them, but they at least stay in that, NFC North is the greatest division ever kind of thing. But it doesn't change much. The Chargers beat the Bucks. Those are still probably two playoff teams.
That is one. There is a path with the Rams that we could have a Rams-Seahawks winner makes the playoffs, loser goes home last week of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's hard to find where your drama is going to be. Week 18 might be the biggest throwaway weekend in the history of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and just think of it this way. We're talking about adding another game.
Well, the hope is that most years aren't like this. That most years won't be like this.
This is one of the strangest years I've ever seen because the good is really good, the bad is really bad, and the in-between is just blah.
Mm-hmm. But it all goes to show how stark the difference is between the teams that have it together and the teams that don't. And the teams that don't have it together are all the teams that can't check those big boxes. To me, it all comes down to the wish list. Every team that wants to win in this league, you got to have certain boxes checked. You got to have a good head coach. You got to have a good quarterback. You got to have, a star athlete of some, relevance. And you got to have the pass rush. And
all very important things.
Right, and all of these teams at the bottom of the league, many of them don't have any of those. Or at least they might have one. Like your Las Vegas Raiders.
They do have a pass rush.
Right.
They don't have anything else.
But I don't have anything else. I can't do anything on that. That was one of the most obvious things to me coming into the season was I could tell you that team's not going to be good because they can't run or throw. There's some teams that can run and some teams that can throw. Teams that can't run or throw, that's not going to be a very good team. They're not going to get very many wins. Which is still kind of baffles me that the New York Giants are a worse offense than the Las Vegas Raiders. That's hard to do.
It's not pretty. We have a super chat on our way into the bottom of the hour.
All right.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
From Matthew Hoffman, said a good friend of mine's a Steelers fan. Steelers finished the season with Philadelphia, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Cincinnati. There's a chance they only lose one of those. There's also a chance they lose all four of them. Who do they want in the first round of the playoffs for a win? Well, it depends on how you finish the season. I would say they will be a dog in 3 of those 4.
I would say so.
If not, it will be very close with Baltimore, and they'll be a dog in the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, who do you want? You want to get as high up there as you can. The problem is that you're probably not going to. Because if you're looking at the AFC playoff picture right now, Kansas City, I'd struggle to believe that anybody but Kansas City Buffalo are going to be the one of the two. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
I mean, I look at who the other two end this season with. You're going to have to find a couple losses for Kansas City here that I'm just not seeing. So you're going to have to play on that first weekend, which means you're going to play some combination of Baltimore, the Chargers, or Denver. Denver's the one I want, but I don't think I can catch Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would say the Chargers.
I don't know. Would I rather have the Baltimore Ravens at home? Would I rather have? I mean, I don't want to play that game if I can avoid it. Yeah, I seem to get the better of them, or have lately.
That's fine. This is a divisional matchup that you're playing a third time. I'm good. I want nothing to do with that.
A team or a division rival that usually flames out in the playoffs. Might be one.
Yeah, they flame
Although
out,
the last time
they flame out in the playoffs, you don't tend to make them. So
I was going to say the last time you had to play a division foe in the first round of the playoffs, though, I believe that was Baker Mayfield that beat you. That was the Cleveland Browns that beat you at the end of that year.
That was the game where Ben had one snapped over his head on the first play of the game. They were down 2-0 immediately.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you don't want a division matchup in that first round. I would say, yeah, the Chargers would have to be the call there. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as the last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and getting back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This year, we have plenty to celebrate. From reuniting with loved ones, to welcoming new family members, from rediscovering the great outdoors, to perfecting Let's Stay In. At Ingalls, we're so proud to play a part in your everyday adventures and all your celebrations. So here's to taking a pause and taking it all in. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain's done now into the afternoon. Falling temperatures into the mid-30s with maybe a snow flurry or snow shower, especially in the hills with some of the gusty winds coming in. The highest elevations could get a snow shower. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, and colder, 25. Thursday, sunshine, breezy, and chilly, 42. Friday, mostly sunny, little bit better, 48. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Show some joy and cheer to your carpets this Christmas with Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Mention this station, ESPN Asheville, to get 3 rooms cleaned for only $129. You can easily schedule online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and Clear Skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. This is the Sportsocracy coming to you live from the Ingalls Studio right outside the blazing inferno that is.
We got burning house happening outside.
Oh, yeah, the smoke plume got bigger, too. We'll get you some pictures posted up to the Facebook and the other social medias here in just a few moments, if my phone will actually, cooperate and process the pictures. The plume has gotten bigger, so it went from one of those little round hay bales just kind of smoking out of one side of it to when the fire department got there and broke it apart, it burst into flames.
I feel like the fire department looked at that and went, "Hey, boys, training exercise. Bust it open." Whoosh.
Now let's fight the flames. The West Buncombe Fire Department, though, here on the scene, protecting us all from the raging fire of the hay bales. I learn something new every day. I try to tell my children, you never just keep your eyes open. You never know. You're going to learn something every day of your life.
Well, you know what iHeartRadio Asheville taught you today? If you see something,
say something. Don't just wait.
Spotted, it is 1:03 Eastern Standard Time right now. Ariel and I spotted that at 8:57 this morning. You see how there's a big discrepancy in time there? There are a whole mess of people that we showed this to, and they went, "Huh, weird. I'm going to go poop now." And next thing you know, raging inferno.
The boss actually said to me, when it gets closer to the door, I'll worry. And I went, oh, okay, all right. Well, that's how we're doing. Look, everybody around here is kind of in vacation mode right now. Like, I don't know if it's this way at your job, but
well, I mean, most
jobs don't get to shut down for the holidays.
Most people don't go, oh, it's 2 Fridays before Christmas? Oh, we must go home now.
It is very rare.
Yeah, here's the way radio works. Let me give you a little inside baseball. We're only paid for 50 weeks.
Those last 2 weeks of the season?
That's
when we check off that corporate box where we go, oh, yeah, I got 18 days of vacation to take. See you next year.
Bye. Bye-bye.
So everybody's kind of, putting the final touches on things. We got a lot of organizational things that are changing in the building here. Lots of stuff on people's minds. So a fire in the field wasn't really top of mind. It is now. Now that there are, 4 engines outside, fire engines. Get your mind out of the gutter. I know what you're talking about. We got some good news today.
My face never moved.
We got some good news today. Penn State police have finally decided Jason Kelsey will not face any charges over smacking that phone out of that guy's hand, which I think that might be one that we riot over. If there had been charges, maybe that's one we riot over. Like, this is an injustice that shall not stand.
I think I could have defended Jason Kelsey myself.
Some Dorcas puts his phone in my face and calls my brother a wordy dird. Yeah, I'm probably not going to react about the same way.
Yeah, some goober faffoed and put his phone in my face, and then he found out. He fawed, and he quickly foed.
Did they ever recover the phone?
Pieces of it. After Jason Kelsey grunk spiked it into the pavement.
Right. Well, I never found the back to it, but here it is.
It doesn't light up anymore, but it rings all the time. It really doesn't stop ringing anymore.
We've even tried taking the batteries out of it. It doesn't work. Oh, man. So, Jeremy, you're putting together your next mock draft, or your first mock draft of the Draftmas season.
Yes.
Are there new names that you've come across in your studies that you've gone, I didn't expect to see that guy getting this kind of love right now?
I won't say that. Obviously, I've been doing this all year, and I've been watching guys trend up. I am shocked at just how good this tight end class is. We haven't had one of those in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you something that I am seeing very quickly. The 3-4 defense is dead.
It's dead? My team still runs it. Is that why? Has Todd Bowles ruined the 3-4 for everybody?
An entire defense. Just look at how few. This is a draft that's really, I'll say, pretty flush.
Yeah.
With pass rushers.
No doubt. There's like 6 of them in the top 12.
Look at how many of them are hand in the dirt, guys. I think James Pierce could stand up.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mikael Williams could stand up. Other than that, there's not a lot. I started kind of tracking this down. Do you realize how many bust edge rushers we've had that were standing guys?
No.
Over the last handful of years?
No.
I was dumbfounded the further down this rabbit hole that I went. And I started thinking about this. Red Sea messaged me after the show yesterday. And I've been thinking about this for a few days of, defense in college football has changed. And you're seeing a lot more of 3-3-5 and things like that. And where I really noticed it was when I was doing the mock, which is obviously done. I just haven't put it out yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at how big some of these defensive ends are. Some of these guys, Shamar Stewart's 290 pounds playing defensive end. I was a defensive tackle 5 years ago, 100 times out of 100. And I started thinking, but why is that? Why is it that that's happening? Oh, because college football's become passing-centric. It's one of the reasons I'm not up in arms about Ashton Genty. Oh, he ran for 1 billion yards. Yeah, against 3-man fronts. He's playing against a bunch of little linebackers that are basically sub-nickel guys in the Mountain West.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 3-man boxes that he's just running through, Barry Sanders didn't face that. Oh, by the way, he also didn't have a playoff. You've gotten to this point in one more game than him. Yeah, sorry, Barry's still the champ. It's kind of like Mark Gastineau still the sack leader because nobody laid down for him.
I did think it was nice. Did you see Barry came out in his defense? Apparently, there were a whole bunch of Detroit Lions people that were giving Ashton hell on social media about coming close to the record. Barry gave his vote of confidence, said, "You go out there. Record's made to be broken. You break it, it's yours. You can have it."
Oh, Barry's just a classic.
I love it. I love it so much.
Where I was headed with edge rushers is name me the guys in the last, I'll say 5 years, that have become premier edge rushers. Not just good. So I'm not really looking for the Kayvon Thibodeau.
Mm-hmm.
He's been fine. I just don't think he's been as good as we thought he would be. Who are the guys that have become stars?
Who are they?
Well, Aiden Hutchinson's the first one that should have come directly to your mind.
Okay.
He's a hand in the dirt guy.
Yep.
I would say Chase Young didn't live up to the expectations. I think injuries kind of derailed him.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Bosa, hand in the dirt guy.
Right.
The second tier, Will McDonald, who's one of the leading pass rushers in the NFL this year. He's a hand in the dirt guy. I keep doing this. There's not a lot of guys that have come out that have wound up being really good at standing up. Because what I feel like is happening at this point, we're looking at individual players. Because so many of these defenses are multiple front. Even Arizona, who is what really was the impetus of this, they don't play three-man front all the time. And if they do, they're usually only playing three guys back behind them. So it's not really a traditional 3-4. There are only, in the NFL, 8 teams that claim their defense is primarily 3-4. Almost all of them are bad. The only 2 defenses that aren't just completely awful statistically are the Ravens and the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Yours, terrible.
Yep.
Terrible. Philadelphia plays some 3-4. Watch their games. Watch how many times they have 4-man front, because it's way more than 3.
Right. So is this everybody? So I had always viewed it of 3-4 was the faster defense, right? So has now it become that the 3-3-5 is the faster defense, and now we have to play that to keep up?
Well, the 3-3-5 is just basically a glorified version of nickel. All you did is take one down lineman and make them kind of a roamer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that the NFL teams are doing that. You're just getting players from a lot of teams that do that. You're not getting, and I'll use Mikael Williams because he's the one I see in this class that I think he naturally fits standing up. He's a freak athlete. I don't know that he's a great player yet. He's just kind of a raw ball of clay that has come from Kirby Smart. Nolan Smith was not a 3-4 edge rusher. If you remember when we talked about that draft class, I got raked over hot coals for saying he could play it. Hey, guess what he's doing?
Mm-hmm.
He's playing 3-4 end. That's where he's lining up for them. They're standing him up and putting him over the tight end. It's because the league's getting smaller. And when the league gets smaller, it kind of takes away the advantage of the 3-4. It's also hard to find nose tackles. I mean, yeah, Dayon Walker weighs 360 pounds, the kid from Kentucky. I can't tell you he's a definitive nose. DJ Reader is a really good nose tackle against the run. You've got to have another player to fill that out because he doesn't really do anything for you as a pass rusher.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where I'm headed, is that with what you're getting from college, it is harder to fill out a 3-4 defense at this point, which is why I'm looking at a lot of these teams going, Arizona was the one that started it, so I want to go with. All right, you're trying to convert Zaven Collins into a 3-4 edge rusher. Well, here's the thing. He hasn't been very good. And I don't think that's the position he plays. It is a lot easier to find that hand-in-the-dirt guy that can be multiple. Because let's say you have a guy like Shamar Stewart, who is heavier. I just move him inside on passing downs. I can take the Will McDonald that's not any good against the run, move him outside in a wide 9, and then take that end that's playing in 3-man fronts and slide him to the inside. That saves me a roster spot over doing what Detroit's doing, which is I've got DJ Reader who can come in here for 2 downs, then I have to take him out on 3rd down. And there's just not enough guys to fill the roster out that way. This kind of goes more into roster construction and the fact that college football is a feeder system to the NFL. You got to take what they're giving you. When you see a huge movement in college football, it's getting ready to be a movement in the NFL, because where do you think all these players are going? If nobody's doing it down here, eventually nobody's going to be doing it up here.
Mm-hmm. Because that's how the quarterbacks, because that's how they're trained, right? It's so hard to bring guys, that we see this all the time with, I'll use quarterbacks. You see quarterbacks that, don't run pro systems in college. Usually the learning curve is pretty long for those guys when they get to the next level. I mean, unless they're generational talents. I think we talked about this a lot when Patrick Mahomes was just, popping onto the scene with his first, 5 division titles or whatever it was. When you see more people doing that, that's the way the game's going to trend.
Hit your button.
Is it the one?
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
I had to track down exactly who broke it.
Uh-huh.
Inside Carolina, the North Carolina Tar Heels are finalizing a deal to land Bill Belichick as their new football coach. It has been reposted and verified by On3 and 24/7 Sports.
Let's go.
Billy Bob to Chapel Hill.
I thought it was ridiculous when it was said the first time. Oh, we're talking to Bill Belichick. I bet you are. That sounds adorable. But there again, you never know. You never know where a guy's mind is at and just how much he wants to coach.
Bill wants to coach.
Mm-hmm.
I got news for you. I've called around the NFL for 2 weeks now. He wasn't getting an NFL job. The only one he really had a shot at was the New York Giants. Looks like they're sticking with Brian Daboll. You may not like that, but that's where it appears to be headed.
Mm-hmm.
If that job didn't open up, where was he going? The New York Jets? Think again. There's enough hurt feelings there that you weren't getting a call. I don't care how good you are.
Chicago Bears.
I don't think you're hiring a defensive coach.
Mm-hmm.
That team is predicated now on Caleb Williams.
And then the latest one people got hot about yesterday, Dallas Cowboys.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Jerry Jones gets asked about it on his, his little weekly spot on his radio show, and immediately everybody goes, "Oh, he's talking good about Bill Belichick." Yeah, he always has.
He always has, and then he immediately said, "I've never felt like we were at a disadvantage with Mike McCarthy." The job's not opening, and even if it did, do you really, honest to God, think control freak Bill Belichick is going to go, I get it, I don't deserve personnel control, I'm going to cede it to Jerry and Stephen Jones? You see how that doesn't make a lot of sense when you say it out loud? The one that everybody's been hot on, and this is where I thought you were headed with it, was the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've been hearing that for probably 6 weeks now. That Shad Khan was all about making the splashy hire with Bill. Just because they're interested in Bill doesn't mean Bill's interested in them. That's not a place that he, I think, would look to go retire. The roster's not very good. You're connected to a lot of things that you cannot get away from. And so the more I thought about this, the more, it does kind of make sense that Carolina's the one. And now it appears, according to Inside Carolina 24/7 Sports and On3, that Bill Belichick is the new head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Yes, and the latest piece of legislation to be introduced in Raleigh and the North Carolina State General Assembly is the bill to change the name of the town to Chapel Bill. What?
Are you Benjamin Button?
What do you mean?
You're 85 years old.
100% I am. That's why I get along with Bill Belichick so well. Because we're old, but we like to live young.
I am. Wow.
What?
Wow. It's
just dumbfounded.
It appears that it's happening.
Yes, it is happening. They're making it official. Bill Belichick will be the next head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. After being tied to all of the, usual names that would be in a college coaching search, somehow Bill Belichick rose to the surface and went, "Yeah, I'll take your job." It's still baffling to me. I could have seen it with any other program. I mean, high quality, high profile program. I could have seen like a Bill Belichick taking over at Notre Dame or something like that if they wanted to go down that path.
And see, I don't agree with
you. Don't think so?
Either.
You don't think a contender would have wanted to do that?
I don't think any program that is that historically good would have gone down this path. It, to me, had to be somebody like North Carolina that, what do we got to lose? All right, Bill comes in here and goes 6-6 next year. Did we actually lose anything? No. You did exactly what you were expected to do. I'm dumbfounded. Seeing it
that'll be an extreme disappointment. Because see, now I know how this goes. And you should too. Hanging around the North Carolina program and being a fan of North Carolina and living in North Carolina as long as you have to know how this is now going. Now, the expectations are through the roof. And if it starts out that poorly, I mean, it's going to be everything that I was leery about earlier in the week when we started talking about this.
You honestly think they're going to have expectations that high?
Yes. Immediately, the expectation is 8 wins. Anything less is a disappointment.
8 wins is not a high expectation.
It is for Carolina.
Okay, elaborate on that.
What you mean? I mean that we don't expect 10 wins and a championship every year.
Okay, if you win in your bowl game, you will have missed 8 wins by 1 win this year, and you were awful.
Mm-hmm.
You won 8 last year. You won 8. You won 9 the year before that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a lofty expectation. You've done that 3 of the last 4 years.
I know, but you said they come in 6-6, and that will they have lost? I mean, you will have lost a lot of the fan base at that point.
You were 6-6 this year. I don't think you lose squat. Hey, if you stuck around for 6-6 with the 73-year-old guy, you'll probably still be here for 6-6 with the 72-year-old
yeah,
guy.
But you ain't gonna be happy about it. That's the point. We poured $20 million into football, and you got 6 wins. Yeah, that would be utter disappointment.
I'm posting this on our social medias right now because I am really curious to hear what other people have to say. What is your expectation of Bill in year 1? 6-7 wins, 8-9 wins, 10 or more.
8-9. I think 8-9 is the baseline for most fans. Because it's Bill Belichick, and you know how this is going to get talked up, and we're probably going to do a lot of the talking about it.
For sure.
The organizational
you
guru.
You just became so much more interesting.
No doubt.
That it's pathetic.
No doubt. You know, the coach GM that led the Patriots dynasty is now trying his hand at college football. You don't think the expectation is going to be high for that?
I think you and I have a different... I think we have a different read on what high expectations are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'd be stunned if he didn't win 8 games. Stunned. I'm more afraid that people are going to have this expectation that he's going to come in and win 11. Which, in this day and age, if you're coming in 3 days after the portal opened, that's asking a lot.
Mm-hmm. There will be those that think, now that we have Chapel Bill in town,
I'm going to need you to stop doing
No, I can't do it. It's on my screen, and now I have to say it.
I need you to stop doing that.
No. But now that we have the greatest coach of all time, there's no reason why we shouldn't win the SEC.
Pretty tough to win the SEC when you're not in it.
Conference ACC. Did I not say ACC? I meant to say ACC. Because it's the weaker conference. Because there's little competition. Who's he got to beat? Dabo. That's the only school I'm afraid of.
That's about it.
And if you think Bill Belichick's a better coach than Dabo Swinney, good for you. You're right. But that's going to be the expectation, is that you will steamroll those opponents that you should, which you haven't been doing over the last few years with Mac. And now you are definitely on par with Clemson. You're on par with Florida State. That's how this is seen now. Now you have to win 10 games a year. Now you have to be in the conference championship. Or else it will be seen as a failure. Year one, I don't think that's the expectation. For most of us. I think most of us are reasonable about this. Putting this thing together in the first year of a guy who's never coached in college, sure, the situational football might be better than anybody else in the ACC, but you might be you might be lacking in talent for a minute or two until you can get the hang of this and until you can find the guys that can run your system. What's your quarterback situation going to look like? You sticking with Mac Johnson?
There are a lot of guys out there.
Max is back.
And look, I think Max would be fine. I don't know if Max would want to play for Bill. There's a lot of, but I know somebody will. I know you're getting ready to bring in talent that North Carolina's never had before.
I was going to say, I got a pretty good feeling. I don't know personally, but I got a pretty good feeling Max Johnson knows what he could learn in the next year if Bill Belichick is his head coach. It's a great situation for Max. I don't think there would be any question of whether or not Max wants this job. The question is whether or not Bill wants this job or wants Mac to have that job. Now, he did have Mac Jones, so maybe Max Johnson wouldn't be too far of a cry from being able to go with Mac Jones. But that didn't go well. That didn't end well in New England. I think right now all options have to be on the table. Because like I said, I did not expect this to happen, but there you go. Breaking news. Bill Belichick and North Carolina finalizing the deal for him to become the next head coach in Chapel Thrill. We'll be back here on ESPN Asheville.
Hope your holiday season is filled with sparkle and cheer. Wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year that's bright with excitement and joy. Happy holidays from all of us at Tanger Outlets Asheville, located at 800 Brevard Road.
Hi, this is Jennifer Robinson with Sandstone Health and Rehabilitation. This year in Western North Carolina, we will celebrate the holidays differently. On behalf of the staff and residents of Sandstone Communities, it is our sincere wish everyone continues to feel the spirit of gratitude and giving this holiday season.
More than 4,500 wildfires burn across North Carolina every year. 99% of these wildfires are the result of human activities like backyard burning and campfires. That means most of our state's wildfires are avoidable. We need your help. 1. Never burn on a dry, windy day or leave your fire unattended. 2. Keep a water source, shovel, rake, and phone nearby. 3. Have a valid burn permit. You are our best defense. Learn more. Visit ncforestservice.gov. ncforestservice.gov.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices.
That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
This year, we have plenty to celebrate. From reuniting with loved ones, to welcoming new family members. From rediscovering the great outdoors, to perfecting Let's Stay In. At Ingalls, we're so proud to play a part in your everyday adventures and all your celebrations. So here's to taking a pause and taking it all in. Merry Christmas from Ingalls.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain's done now into the afternoon, falling temperatures into the mid-30s with maybe a snow flurry or snow shower, especially in the hills with some of the gusty winds coming in. The highest elevations could get a snow shower. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, and colder, 25. Thursday, sunshine, breezy, and chilly, 42. Friday, mostly sunny, little bit better, 48. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop limited time deals at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 30% off select major appliances to save big this season. Lowe's knows deals. Offers valid 12/5 to 12/11. Cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items while supplies last.
Old Spice Swagger Holiday Pack, perfect for a gift to treat yourself. 24/7 holiday freshness with daily use can smell your bestest. I'm gonna be smelling great all season. Old Spice scents just can't be beaten. Chock full of value, saving that green. Got the essentials needed to feel clean. Deodorant, hair, body wash, and spray. Celebrate your holiday the Old Spice way. Ho 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 ho.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is Carolina basketball.
Flips it to R.J. Davis. Pump fake for three. Now he'll take it. Count it! Count it, baby! Left corner to Trimble. Jab step. Drive. Foul. And the bucket.
On the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Drive left against Taylor. He's fouled again. I don't know how, but he got the bucket. Bombs with Trimble going down the center of the lane.
This is your radio home for the Tar Heels.
Asheville's home for the Tar Heels is ESPN Asheville.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
And we are back live in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. There's a criminal investigation now going on at Radio Ranch. We were told the official word is that it did not spontaneously combust. That was a set one.
And all I could say, damn you kids, get out of my yard.
All I'm saying is if you live in that neighborhood over there, you're going to get a knock on your door at some point soon.
You're finna see a lot. You're finna see some dudes with guns that they would like to chat.
Once again, thank you to our protectors, the West Buncombe Volunteer Fire Department, as well as the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office that are taking care of our little not spontaneously combusted bale of hay.
I'm almost sad.
I'm sad now.
I am too.
I wanted it to be.
I thought we had ourselves a geographical oddity.
It was a scientific holiday miracle. But not today. All right, to get weird. In case anybody is upset at a certain fast food chain for being a little too funny on the social medias, you can't blame Burger King. It wasn't Burger King. Did you see the post?
Yeah. They don't snitch.
So the story, the Burger King has kind of found themselves in hot water over having to vehemently deny that they had anything to do with. So Luigi Mangione, the killer in the shooting of the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York, he was ratted out by employees at McDonald's. Right, there was a customer and there was an employee of a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, that called police to say that, hey, we think we have the guy in our store. He was then arrested and now faces all the charges. Well, Burger King, or a social media account looking to be like the Burger King official account, then tweeted out, "We don't snitch." And you could imagine how that was taken of, oh my God, I can't believe you'd make a joke out of this. Well, it was not them. So you take back all your Burger King derision. I will not stand for it here.
They are the home of the Whopper.
They are.
My story is about 12-year-old Daphne Filsteiner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think that we live in a simulation and that none of this is actually real. And I'm really disturbed by what I'm getting ready to tell you. 12-year-old Daphne went on a family trip. They went to I believe it was Egypt.
Okay.
She's walking along. She finds a thing on the side of the road. What do you think she found, Tank?
Crimes.
Nope.
No. She found, I don't know, a mummy.
Getting way closer. She found a 3,500-year-old Egyptian amulet.
Oh, wow.
And I'm pretty sure something evil's coming out of it because that's the world we live in.
Uh-huh.
I get a little angina when I start hearing 3,500-year-old Egyptian amulet because I think I've seen this movie a couple dozen times.
Yes.
And it leads to apocalyptico, and I am not here for that.
That's where we have kept the spirit of Tutankhamun for all these years.
Come again for Judge Fudge?
Tutankhamun? You don't know?
I don't know what that is. That's a real funny name, though.
The Egyptian pharaoh, Tutankhamun. You don't remember that story from history class?
Do I look like a man that paid a lot of attention in history class?
This is like the pharaoh of Egypt at like 17 years old or something.
Do you not remember, Tank? I'm just a big fat redneck.
I get it. I get it. Just a big old dum-dum, folks.
Just a big old goober. Hey, John.
All I know is footballs and beers. And somehow that's enough to make more money than John.
There it was. I love New Tank. I love New Tank. You know,
I knew you were going to do it, so I might as well do it for you.
Oh, you know. Hey, when you send those in, who do you think they send them to?
That's right. It comes straight to my email.
Wait, you think that went to, like, Mr. iHeart? No, it went right down the hall.
Yep.
Doot. Hey, look at this. And that's going to become part of the show today. Okie dokie.
The Buncombe County Sheriff's Department stopped by to just make fun of Jeremy's Jets, which I thought was great. So great.
Yeah.
First words out of their mouths were not, "Hey, why'd you set that fire?" It was, "Hey, you know your team sucks, right?"
Yeah. That would be Detective Burns, who is a lifelong friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's also a great part of why Jeremy loves hanging out in Asheville, because he gets by with a little help from his friends.
Well, you know you're coming up on troubled times, right? I don't know, troubled times. The troubled times hopefully will be behind you.
I was about to say, if I'm not living in troubled times right now, I think I may have to be good.
I'm just maybe tumultuous, I think was more the word I was looking for. Of now you get to have the fun front office fight of where do we go with our head coaching hire, with our GM hire, with our quarterback search. Oh no, it appears that's actually going to happen. Aaron's coming back.
It could. It
seems
it's getting louder and louder and louder and louder.
It does. It seems like by the day, the stars are aligning here to make sure that you stay in this misery for one more year
I'll
at least.
I'll just go ahead and tell you, if I have to deal with another year of Captain Ayahuasca, I may end up doing drugs myself.
Well, you're not trading him.
I may have to see Aaron Rodgers at a training camp next year like, hey, bruh, how about you give me a little whatever it is that's keeping you alive?
I mean,
I need it to deal with you.
Aren't you at the point with Aaron Rodgers? Are we not at the point yet where we can just do that whole let's put him on the bench so we don't have to pay him more money thing, like apparently the Saints are doing with Derek Carr?
Well, Derek Carr's hurt. He's got a broken hand. What do you want him to do? Throw it with his left hand? Because he's not all that good throwing it with the hand that he's actually able to throw a football with.
But wasn't that the story that he could come back at the end of the season, but they're not gonna?
That's not a sitting you trying to avoid injury. That's a why would I bring you back? He's going on, or he's not going on IR.
Right.
They, in theory, could bring him back. I don't know why you don't just put him on IR personally.
Mm-hmm.
Use that roster spot on somebody else.
I mean, you're not playing for anything right now anyway.
You get to a certain point where it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. But we saw the Giants do this with Daniel Jones, where you didn't want to have him out on the field because there's that injury guarantee. Right? It was like another $30 million that Derek Carr would have been owed if he put him back out on the field for next year. Otherwise, you can get out of that deal for, I think, $10 million or something was what I read. Are you not at that point with Aaron where you could just say, we'd rather not? I don't really care what you want, Aaron, at this point. This has been the biggest disaster since the last biggest disaster that we had. I didn't think anything could go worse than the Brett Favre move.
Brett Favre went great until it did. I got way more enjoyment out of Brett Favre than I've gotten out of Aaron Rodgers.
Well, there's no doubt about it because the first damn play the fourth play that Aaron Rodgers was out there, you lost him for the year. And then he comes back this year, and we all got duped again of, oh, this could be good. And then he comes out, and he's just terrible. I mean, he's Matt Ryan, or has been.
He has not been that bad. It's also been a lot of the – I mean, I can't explain to you how bad that line has been.
Mm-hmm.
Not in individual play, but in how bad that scheme has been of, hey, send 6. They have no clue of how to fix that. Hadn't gotten better. They haven't adjusted. They haven't done squat.
You just didn't think it was going to get worse than last year.
I am dumbfounded that the Carolina Panthers and the New York Jets have the same record.
Mm-hmm.
I must admit, I did not see that.
No, there was not a world that existed where that made sense to anybody. Even the biggest Jets haters couldn't have come up with an idea like that. That this is a 3 to 4 win team with as much talent as they have. I have kind of been shocked that you haven't found a way to make it better. Right?
Who's supposed to make it better?
Like after Rob Saleh went away, fired coach bump, that didn't exist.
No. The exact opposite, actually.
Jeff Ulbricht coming in to be taking over as the head coach. It was, oh, man. Maybe this guy's good. He ain't good at that. No. He may be real good at putting together and scheming a defense, but he's not good at running a team. At least not midway through a season.
It has. I can't even explain how much of a disaster this has been. It's been so bad, it's got me to stop watching Jet games. I can't deal with it every single week.
You're not even watching it to yell at it anymore.
No,
that's
because
tough.
I don't care. I physically don't care. This is almost like bad marriage time where, okay, the divorce is imminent. At this point, we're just waiting on the kids to graduate high school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care that you're out carousing. I don't care. Find somebody else that wants to deal with you because I don't.
A lot of talk lately, last few days. Steam's picking up for Mike Vrabel to come back as a head coach in this league, which is no shocker to anybody. He was on the short list of the candidates. Is it a foregone conclusion that he ends up in Chicago? Because I think that's where my mind's at. Mike Vrabel being the next head coach of the Chicago Bears somehow writes itself, which makes me feel like it is going to happen. Normally, I would say that doesn't make me feel good about it, but I think this one is so obvious because you're not going to be in the hunt for Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's not taking that as his first job, nor would I want him to.
No.
If you're a fan of Ben Johnson, you don't want that to be his first NFL job. It's not going to go well with a rookie head coach. I think you kind of have to have that veteran in the room. Somebody that knows how to deal with idiocy in the front office. I mean, Mike Vrabel's been through that before. He had winning teams in Tennessee, which is not an organization that is really known for its great organizational culture.
No. Look, Mike Vrabel will be super popular. You're going to see names interview for NFL jobs that will baffle your mind. Because I think every single team with an opening is going to call Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
Those two will be super selective. And then I really don't know I don't know a candidate that you're going to feel warm and fuzzy about. Brian Flores? The guy that's actively suing the league.
Yeah.
And suing one of the teams that interviewed him.
He'd probably be third. He's probably 3 on the list.
Under no circumstances would I even call him.
Mm-hmm.
You're suing a team that interviewed you because they didn't hire you, and you don't understand why I don't want to interview you. All right. I'm good. You want to do that? But take luck.
Right.
I'm good.
And then
Cliff Kingsbury, who was a disaster as a head coach.
But the output of the offense of the Washington Commanders this year and the great year that Jalen Daniels has had, it puts him high on the list.
We've talked about this a lot of Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy and how unbelievably crazy it is that he could end up coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me play devil's advocate on that. So there are two guys that we feel really good about potentially getting jobs in this cycle, Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel. Do you think either one of them even answers the phone for the Dallas Cowboys? Because I don't.
Really?
No.
Yes, that's not a phone call. You take it just to see what the number's going to be?
Why would I take it, though? It's not like, historically, it's not like they're paying top of the market to coaches anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I'm going to make some financial windfall. Well, they're America's team. Don't make me laugh. You're 2 dynasties away from being America's team. Why would I do it? I know Jerry's the one pulling the strings. He's the biggest problem.
Mm-hmm.
Would you? All right, riddle me this. Would you rather have the New York Jets job or the Dallas Cowboys? With the roster I'm inheriting.
Jets.
Jets, not close. Would you rather have the Cleveland Browns or the Dallas Cowboys?
It'd be the Browns.
It'd be the Browns, and they have the biggest albatross contract in league history.
Yeah. Because the rest of that team's so good. I just feel like you're running up against Dallas is running up against the wall. And I still have a hard time believing that Jerry is going to continue this after the year, but he is crazy and he does whatever the hell he wants to. And so
yeah,
it's hard to predict.
I would happily ignore that phone call. We have our latest super chat that is a question we need to discuss.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
It's from Matthew Hoffman, who said, maybe this is a stupid question, but why is the measure of success only counted by wins? What else could be counted other than a win expectation? Well, because the simple fact is the only thing fans care about is wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Because you're basically, when you're employed by a team, you're basically working at the behest of the owner and the behest of the fan base. Look around Giants and Jet Stadium right now and look at how many empty seats you've got. Yeah, they were all sold out. That's fine. But you also have a television product where you're showing 25,000 people in a 75,000-seat stadium. That's not good. And a lot of the ones that are there are wearing bags on their head and flying planes over the stadium telling you to sell the team. What else could be, and I'm assuming he's talking about the Belichick hire with Carolina. I don't think it's just wins and losses that would necessarily categorize Bill as a success. I would more look at where it puts Carolina in the lexicon of college football. If you start seeing, I'll give an example. Has Deion Sanders been successful at Colorado?
Yes.
Rated on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being moderate, won't see anything 5 seconds after he leaves. 10 being you have completely relaunched this program.
I would say it's at an 8 for me. It's real close. I mean, but the wins aren't there. And I have to knock you because the wins aren't there. However, this program is in a completely different stratosphere than you were before. I still don't know how that's going to go when he leaves, though.
Okay, you say the wins aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
Here would be my argument to that. Colorado's last 10-win season was in 2016.
Yes.
That was under Mike McIntyre. They've had 4 head coaches since then before Deion Sanders. They won 5-5-4. No, got that wrong. 5-5-5, 4-4, won 4 games. You win the bowl game, you got 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than you've had in any 2 years combined in almost a decade.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the wins are there. You're fine. At 9-3, you're fine. If you ever thought that was going to get better than that within 2 years, I think you're smoking crimes.
Yes. Agreed.
I certainly wouldn't be lower than an 8. Because all I've got to do, let's say Deion moved on. I don't believe that's coming anytime soon. But let's say he moved on. All I got to do is hire somebody off the staff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as good, but I keep the culture.
But do you? Is it deeper than just Coach Prime is fun and Coach Prime catches headlines? This is what I worried about when they made the move in the first place. I kind of have the same take that I have on Bill. This is the best you'll ever do. This is the best it's ever been. But after this, what happens? Now, in Bill's case, if he comes in and he builds this offensive or he builds this coaching staff up like is rumored to, he brings in Joe Judge and Matt Patricia and Steve is there and Steve's the associate head coach and there's a plan to move on in the future, awesome. Does that exist in Colorado? Is there an unspoken system there that when Deion decides he's done, I've got X coordinator who's going to be my right-hand man and he's going to take over when I leave? Or
I think that's exactly how it would happen, because the thing I think people forget about Colorado, that's still going to be where his kid and his almost kid. I mean, he treats Travis Hunter like he's one of his kids. That's where they went to school.
Both of his kids. Right, he had 2 kids on that team.
And Shiloh, yeah.
he legitimately did have 2 sons on that team.
Sorry, Shiloh is the...
Shiloh got 1 game, remember? He had that 1 game where he got to be the favorite kid. When he picked off the pass at the end of the game to close it.
Sorry. Shiloh is the Jan Brady of the Deion Sanders bunch. Marsha! Right. Yeah, it's because...
Right.
It's because you're not as good as the other 2. Sorry. That's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go 1 and 2 in the draft, and you're going to go sometime on Saturday.
Right. Coach Prime has been great for Colorado.
Yes. I think it will stick around. He's made Colorado cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, people are buying merchandise.
But again, will that exist when he's gone? That's the only question.
But you've made the brand cool.
Sure.
And you've done that in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't leaving this year. So you ask yourself this question. If he left next year, all these people that have been all in on Colorado Buffalo football, do you think they just immediately go where Deion goes? Or do they do what people that jump on bandwagons do? We're going to hang around in Colorado, but we're going to root for Deion too. And then if Colorado stays good, you can cement that.
Yeah, they'll hang around for 2 years, maybe.
Unless they stay good.
Right, sure. But you have to win the games to be able to do that. And that means you have to follow up the home run with a triple at least.
Deion's done what no coach at Colorado's done in 30 years, and that's set you up to be relevant.
Yep.
That would be the hope with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
So you ask a metric of what could you use to measure success? Do you become relevant? North Carolina has not been really relevant in the college football scene since Mac's first time here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even going to the Orange Bowl in the COVID year, you were never really a threat to make the playoffs.
No.
If you're not a threat to make the playoffs in some shape, form, or fashion, which Colorado was this year, you're not really relevant. If Bill can make them relevant, then he has been successful.
Agreed.
Leave them in the hands of Steve, keep the culture in place, and hopefully Carolina football takes off from there.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. The Daily Draft is coming up after the top of the hour. Today's topic is biggest disappointments this year in football. We'll be right back.
Ho, ho, ho. Hey, Santa, what's with the green suit?
I'm going for a round at Green Man Brewery.
I don't think you have to wear green just to go to Green Man Brewery.
No, but it's nice to get in the spirit of things. They even have a white beard white ale, just for me.
Well then, let's head to the Green Mansion in downtown Asheville. I could use a round too.
Visit me at the Green Mansion, Sunday, December 22nd from noon till 2. Happy holidays from Green Man Brewery.
Are you going to start the new year dealing with the same old joint pain, losing sleep, not able to take walks, or do what you love because your knees or hips? Don't do it. Take action now to get the pain relief you deserve for 2025. Call QC Kinetics now. Say goodbye to shoulder and back pain. QC Kinetics local medical professionals are waiting for you. Their advanced protocols and regenerative medicine have helped tens of thousands of people. I'm talking lasting relief. Imagine a new year without those achy joints. No more pain pills, no more steroid shots. QC Kinetics uses the healing properties of your own body to attack the root cause of your pain, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. This is the future of medicine. If you've been told surgery is your best or only option, you deserve a second opinion. Find out if all-natural regenerative medicine is right for you. Call QC Kinetics. The consultation is free, and you can use HSA and FSA dollars. Live your best life in 2025. Get started now. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
Using a Clorox disinfecting wipe on your coffee table this cold and flu season feels like... It feels like being bold enough to laugh your weird laugh in front of everyone.
That was a good one.
With Clorox, clean feels confident. Clean feels good. Use as directed on hard, non-porous surfaces.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and Mountain Graphics AVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're gonna be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill towards men.
Operation Silent Night and Still on the Fence. Okay, we're ready.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas isn't just a holiday. It's a feeling to embrace all year long. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Trent and Doug, whose first instinct was to fill their trucks with supplies and drive to the hardest hit areas in those first hours. Like Eric, who hosted the football team to support their neighbors and begin the cleanup efforts. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. That's parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain's done now into the afternoon. Falling temperatures into the mid-30s with maybe a snow flurry or snow shower, especially in the hills with some of the gusty winds coming in. The highest elevations could get a snow shower. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, and colder, 25. Thursday, sunshine, breezy, and chilly, 42. Friday, mostly sunny, little bit better, 48. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Hurry in now to Apple Tree Superstore for deals on the full lineup of 2024 Hondas, including the CR-V, the HR-V, and Civic. Apple Tree Superstore is committed to offering you professional service and a great experience. Shop online at appletreesuperstore.com and in person, I-26 and Airport Road, Asheville.
The PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get cashback offers in the app, and when you use the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Here's the snap. Young looking Thielen's way. Throws. Ball is tipped. Thielen off the deflection. Catches it.
This is Anish Shroff. Join me Sunday as the Panthers host the Dallas Cowboys.
Are you kidding me? Hey, Bryce just did something incredibly special.
Pre-game comes your way at noon. Kickoff at 1 on the Carolina Panthers Radio Network.
Panther football live all season long on News Radio 570 WWNC.
Join us December 11th for Venture Asheville Honors, a telethon celebrating entrepreneurial resilience. On December 11th from 6 to 9 at the Orange Peel, our goal is to raise $1 million for Optimist Ventures, supporting local businesses impacted by Hurricane Helene. Enjoy live performances, comedy, and inspiring stories from entrepreneurs. Tickets are $35 and include food and drink. Visit ventureasheville.com/venture15 for details. ventureasheville.com/venture15.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Live from the Ingalls Studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400, and we come to you today to say we did not start the fire.
We didn't start the fire. I don't know the rest of the words of that song.
Yeah. It's always been burning since the world's been turning.
Isn't that the one that has all the ladies list and stuff?
Yeah. That's the one that Family Guy made fun of.
History, stuff and
That's
stuff.
the one.
History and sports. Da-da-da-da-da-da, stuff and stuff and stuff.
Yes, that's the song. Indeed.
Who
the
sang
great
that?
Billy Joel.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
Yes. I'd rather see a halftime show by him at the Super Bowl.
Well, that's just stupid. Like that. Kendrick Lamar.
Far more appeal for that one.
Yeah, you remember that story I was complaining about Drake being the most streamed artist on Spotify, like 80 months in a row?
Yeah, that dude.
Kendrick Lamar just knocked him off. So,
oh, wow.
The vast majority of people that like Billy Joel don't even know what Spotify is.
No.
They're still listening to records.
We do
old
not.
45s.
And we don't know who that other guy is either. So stop saying his name.
Billy Joel. Stop.
Kendrick Lamar. Stop it. Welcome into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. It is time for the Daily Draft, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Today's Daily Draft, biggest disappointments in football this year. We're sticking just to NFL, or you want to branch to college as well?
Oh, no, I'm going both.
All right.
I'm going to make a request. I will give you the first pick if you don't take my team.
If I don't take the Jets, I can have the first pick.
You can have the first pick. You can have anything else that's not Jeremy's team. And there's a very specific reason why.
Okay. I will.
I've never put a caveat on giving you the number one pick. There is a reason that I'm doing it.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll take that. The Jets are a huge disappointment this year and would be a great option for number one.
But before we do this draft, I want to set the caveats of what this is.
Okay.
This is biggest flops, disappointments. Take where you thought a team would be and then where they are. It's not just that you're bad, it's that you're so much worse than we thought you were.
Mm-hmm. My first selection in this. I'm going Cincinnati Bengals as number one.
That is a formidable selection.
It was tight between another team. I will not divulge that just in case that might come back to me in the next round.
It will. I'll guarantee.
I will guarantee you it will. Cincinnati Bengals at 5-8, and the fact that they've only won one division game, they've only won 2 games inside the AFC conference. You still have Joe Burrow playing at an elite level, but you can't do anything with it because your defense is terrible. I have never seen, I don't think I've ever seen an offense that is so talented, that has so many young players that I believe in, at least at the skill positions, and you can't win games. Zach Taylor, the dew has come off of that rose, or whatever the saying is. Like, I can't deal with that anymore. Lou Anna, I think you need to blow this whole thing out. You get a new coaching staff in there. You got all the pieces. I doubt you're going to recommit to T. Higgins, but if you could, maybe I would. And bring in somebody like Ben Johnson, who could have you as the number one offense in the league. And he could probably bring you some defensive clarity with a new voice in the room.
I am dumbfounded by the Bengals. They're 6th in the NFL in points per game. They're 9th in total yards, and they're awful.
Mm-hmm.
That's a formidable selection by you. And now I'm going to go on a little rant, Tank, because my 2 selections are my New York Jets and my Florida State Seminoles. I have 1 and 2. You want to know why I'm so angry? Because the 2 biggest disappointments of this football season are both my disappointments. They're the teams that I love. I have never in my life seen anybody get kicked in the nethers as hard as me for an entire season. I came in with a Super Bowl hopeful and a college football playoff lock because we extended it to 12 and the ACC sucks. My team is going to finish last in their division in the NFL, and my college team managed to win 2 whole games, one of which was against Charleston Southern, and the other was a miracle against Cal. You can't make that up.
You cannot.
You added Stanford and Cal and SMU. SMU wins the conference. You went 1-7 in the ACC. Every team in the conference but you had 2 wins. Every team in college football scored 21 points within a conference game in America except you. That's hard to wrap one's brain around. And I lived it.
Mm-hmm.
For 4 months, I've lived it. I still remember week 0 of the college football season as we're playing Georgia Tech in Ireland, a game that I considered going to in what would have become an international incident. I remember watching this team going, uh-oh. I see a slew of problems. What people forget is that Florida State had one great offensive drive to start the season. So not only did I have the hype of the preseason, I then got the kick in the nethers of, oh, look how good this offense is. And then it wasn't. And then it wasn't good. It was historically awful. I'm calling this a blip year. I don't ever want to talk about it again. I want to forget it happened. I hate both of my teams. I don't like wearing your things. It's just much of my closet is that.
Mm-hmm.
When it's raining outside, I have one rain jacket. Guess what? It's got a Jets logo on it.
Unless you borrow like a Red Sox jacket if you'd like, or
pass.
I can get you a Bucks jacket.
Hard pass.
You did have 2 of the greatest collapse stories of any fan I have ever seen.
I had the single worst year in the history of sports fandom. I had 2 championship contenders going in that have combined for 5 wins against Cal, Charleston Southern, and the Houston Texans. The other 2 Jet wins, one was against New England. I don't remember who the other one was because it's been a long time ago.
Yep. Preseason top 10 were the Florida State Seminoles.
And they finished 2-10.
Yikes. All right, New York Jets, Florida State Seminoles for you. All right, well, I'm glad you didn't take the one that I was closest on, San Francisco 49ers.
That was up there pretty high.
Real high on the list because this was just lace him up and do it again, right? We signed up Brandon Ayuk, gave him the contract that he wanted. We got the contract solved with Trent Williams. Away we go. We're just Super Bowl bound, going to run the NFC. And then lo and behold, injury after injury happened. Mediocre play after mediocre play, defense letting you down, Christian McCaffrey getting hurt, Deebo Samuel in and out. It's just been a nightmare. Somehow, Jawan Jennings became your number 1 wide receiver, and Jordan Mason became your number 1 running back. It's been pretty much a disappointment of biblical proportions. Going from foregone conclusion for most 49ers fans that you were going to another Super Bowl to now you're not even going to make the playoffs. And you very well may end up, as I said several weeks ago, finishing in last place in this division.
That one I think should be high. It was predictably high. I didn't think they would miss the playoffs, but I did jump up and down and tell you this team's not as good as you think.
Mm-hmm. That you did. My next selection is the Chicago Bears.
There's the one. That's the one that I would have taken at number 1 if I was you.
Really? You think that is the biggest one of the season?
How can it not be?
Well,
I mean, I get it. Cincinnati's not been good. They've also been killed injury-wise. Chicago might be the healthiest team in the league.
And they're still no good.
And they're still terrible.
Right.
And you're stuck in the terrible because you went all in on this train wreck. Now you've got Roma Dunze's dad that's basically railing the franchise on Twitter. You got Keenan Allen, who I think is the same age I am. How's it supposed to get better? Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, you bypassed the Rookie of the Year to take this bum quarterback that many of us tried to warn you about.
Mm-hmm. They screwed this up from every turn, and they'll continue to do so. I said this a few weeks ago, and I can't get away from it. It's because, well, not only did you make the wrong decision in the quarterback that you decided to go with in Caleb Williams, but it's also you've been chasing your own tail with all of your hires. The fact that you are so off track with GM, coach, quarterback is ridiculous. The fact that you fired a coach, is it the last 3 times? They've fired the last 3 times they've made quarterback changes, they fired the coach the next year.
Yes.
That's hard to do. You went Justin Fields and now Caleb Williams. And Caleb Williams, at this point, doesn't look like he is going to be as good as Justin Fields, which is hard to say.
Oh. I feel a social media question coming. I hadn't thought of that
Would
way.
You have been better off if you just stuck with Justin Fields? Because I don't know that the answer. I don't know that the answer to that is not yes. If we'd have just kept Justin Fields and tried to build around him the way we did for Caleb, I'd probably put a wager on the fact that you'd have more wins right now.
You had to restart the clock on the contract. Whoa,
but you didn't have to start.
Question.
But you didn't have to start his career with the same head coach, right?
I'm hearing no lies here.
And I get you weren't going to fire Ryan Poles because he had just taken that job, right? Ryan Poles came in after Justin Fields,
yes,
right. And when Justin Fields got picked, then you hired Poles, then you hired Eberflus.
Well, they hired Eberflus and Poles at the same time.
Okay. And then you changed quarterbacks, and now you're changing head coaches again. Are you going to wait to change on GM again? Are you going to give Ryan Poles another year, one more crack to make this happen? Or should you just blow it up now and find the GM that wants to be here and work with Caleb? Find the coach that wants to be here and groom Caleb. You can't keep chasing your tail. You have to be in lockstep in something. And now we're hearing that there's strife within the organization. Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren apparently at each other's throats now.
That's a power struggle to the highest extreme.
Right.
Because nobody in the building actually knows who the powerful one is. It's supposed to be that Kevin Warren runs the organization, Ryan Poles runs the roster.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're having an internal strife of, well, you're not doing your job. Well, neither are you.
Right.
By the way, I do find it funny that anybody looked at Kevin Warren, the guy who almost single-handedly destroyed the Big Ten, and went, you can fix us? Okay. That'd be like owning a McDonald's and going, you know who I should hire to fix this? Hunter Biden. That'll work. I mean, he's been so successful at everything else.
That feels like a who you know thing. It always did. Kevin Warren hangs out in Chicago because he's the head of the Big Ten. And then all of a sudden he winds up with the president job with the Chicago Bears. That always felt like who did he meet at a dinner somewhere?
He was well respected. I just never could quite figure out why.
All right, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Chicago. I feel pretty good about those that start for my draft and the biggest disappointments of 2024. However, Jeremy, solid start with him because he's lived through both of them.
I beat you with both. I got my two, and I won.
The New York Jets.
I can sing show tunes for the next 30 seconds in every pick that I have. I'm good.
The New York Jets and the Florida State Seminoles, who are the other biggest disappointments in the 2024-25 football season. We'll continue the daily draft brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Up next.
Are you going to start the new year dealing with the same old joint pain, losing sleep, not able to take walks or do what you love because your knees or hips? Don't do it. Take action now to get the pain relief you deserve for 2025. Call QC Kinetics now. Say goodbye to shoulder and back pain. QC Kinetics local medical professionals are waiting for you. Their advanced protocols and regenerative medicine have helped tens of thousands of people. I'm talking lasting relief. Imagine a new year without those achy joints. No more pain pills, no more steroid shots. QC Kinetics uses the healing properties of your own body to attack the root cause of your pain, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. This is the future of medicine. If you've been told surgery is your best or only option, you deserve a second opinion. Find out if all-natural regenerative medicine is right for you. Call QC Kinetics. The consultation is free, and you can use HSA and FSA dollars. Live your best life in 2025. Get started now. Call 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our purpose, to improve lives with every interaction. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Like Daniel, a veteran who accompanied law enforcement and other veterans to perform search and rescue operations. Like Spencer, who helped build a bridge out of debris to rescue 7 families after the road was washed away. Nominate your Parks Community Hero today at parkscommunityheroes.com. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
We are the Sportsocracy, and we are live at the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville. Continuing with the daily draft today, brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. Jeremy and I pitting our wits against each other on the daily topic, which is biggest disappointments of the football season, NFL or college. Who were the teams that disappointed us the most?
You still haven't taken a college team, and I'm getting ready to take my second one.
Okay.
I'm going with my family at the LSU Tigers and Brian Kelly.
It's not a
when
bad
he got
one.
hired 3 years ago, do you think any LSU Tiger would have signed on for your high water mark is a win in the Citrus Bowl?
No, sir.
It's just not going well. Would you agree?
Oh, I would agree. It's definitely, I mean, you brought in Brian Kelly, who lost, 6 games in 8 years at Notre Dame. And now you bring him to LSU thinking, okay, well, this is how we stay on top. Right? The Ed Orgeron thing had gone so extremely poorly at the end. You won the national title with Joe Burr and the rest of them. And then it cratered into the earth because, well, you know, Ed had his sights on other things at the time.
Go Tigers.
He had a little bit of that Bill Belichick in him.
Got that dog in him.
And then you bring in Brian Kelly, who everybody, the assumption was this is a Power 5 playoff coach who can't get it done at Notre Dame. Let's bring him down here to where the big boys play. Let's bring him down here where he can have all of the guys, he'll have all of the power in recruiting and such. And he won't have all of the academic restrictions that he faced at Notre Dame. Remember how great we talked about the things that he could do with the amount of freedom that he would now have being in the football culture that is the SEC, and it's turned into what's it been, an 8-4 and a 7-6 campaign or something like that?
No, he's won. It went away. He went 10-4 the first year, 10-3 the second year, 8-4 this year.
Really? I didn't think he had busted 10 games both years.
Well,
bowl wins. Nah.
It's not good.
No, you were brought here to compete for national championships, and you haven't done that yet.
He and my next selection start next year on the hottest of hot seats because my next one, the USC Trojans. You remember when I tried to tell you that Lincoln Riley was overrated?
Mm-hmm.
And you looked at everything he did at Oklahoma, and, of course he's going to go to USC, just contend for national titles. Of course he is. Well, then the problem showed up. You're in the Big Ten now. And this cute little gimmick of we can score 1 billion points and only allow you to score 990 million is not enough. If USC could fire him, they would. Straight up, if they had the ability to fire him, they would. They don't, because they can't pay the buyout. I've never seen a coach's career just come careening down to earth as quickly as his has.
Mm-hmm. He was that coach that we talked about early in the Oklahoma Sooner reign of, is he born on third base, or is he this good?
I mean, just be honest with yourself about we talk more NFL than we do college, so let's just be honest about the quarterbacks that come out of his system. You've gone Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams. Do you know what every one of those guys has in common? Damn, they turn the ball over a lot. Like an insane amount. Or you have to completely dance around their inability to read defenses.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an accident. It's not an accident that you get these quarterbacks that play these one-read, quick pop offenses. Then they get to the NFL and they can't read a defense. At this point, the Philadelphia Eagles are one step away from running the veer because they trust Jalen Hurts so little. There's a reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams has been an absolute liability for the Bears. Kyler Murray's the best of the bunch, and I'm not even sure it's all that close.
All right, USC. Man, you've taken a lot of college.
I have, mainly because I think the 2 NFL teams I want to take, I don't think you're going to touch. Because I don't think you think they're as big of a disappointment as I do.
Okay. I am going to go with a college team here. And it might sound crazy because the season's not over. But it's the Ohio State Buckeyes.
I almost did that. I really did. But I couldn't make the words come out of my mouth.
Now, look, so Ohio State's in the playoff, right? They won a whole bunch of Big Ten games. You know, they've got a chance. Sure, can everything turn? Yes. If you win the college football playoff, nobody's going to remember. No one will remember that Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes lost to Michigan on the last game of the season. Didn't even play for a Big Ten championship. But that's a tall task. That's a big ask from a guy who's never been able to win the big one. So, Ryan Day, you want the heat off you, you know what you got to do. And good damn luck. Because you're going to have to get through Tennessee first, and I don't like your chances. And then you're going to have to get through Oregon, and I don't like your chances. I'm not saying that you're going to get stomped. All I'm saying is I don't like your chances. Yeah, exactly.
Better not. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you. You better not.
I don't think that's what it takes. I think a loss to Tennessee, he's done.
you couldn't work it that way.
You don't think so?
Not with the way the schedule's laid out. The college football schedule is so stupid that Ohio State would almost be stuck going into another year with Ryan Day, even if he gets smoked.
Yeah.
Because by the time he gets smoked, the transfer portal you've lost some good ones.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the minute he leaves, all those guys get 30 days to go wherever they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Bad idea. So you would go in with him as a lame and he would be the lamest of lame ducks.
Yep. It's going to be bad news.
I almost said Ohio State, and I couldn't physically make my mouth say the words.
You came into this season with one goal and one goal only. It wasn't to beat Michigan. It wasn't to win the Big Ten. It was national championship or bust. This is the most expensive, most talented roster in the history of college football. And you screwed it up. How is that not one of the biggest disappointments of the year? Despite the fact that they still made the playoff.
It was not good.
I
do have to touch on this. Gomaha said it in our YouTube chat. There are rumors abounding that Garrett Nussmeier is going to enter the transfer portal.
Ooh. That'd be a big get.
Do you know how long it's been since an LSU quarterback started and ended his career at LSU?
Ooh, that's got to be a while. How long?
2011. That's the last one that
Who
started.
was it?
Jordan Jefferson.
Who
threw a grand total of just under 700 passes his entire career.
Well, he only started his senior year, didn't he?
No, he played throughout all 4 years. Well, very little his freshman year, and then he played sporadically. He had injury issues.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. I saw the Nussmeier thing. That was kind of what confirmed LSU for me. Because when I searched out LSU, it was 5,000 tweets of, oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
We're about to lose another quarterback.
Yeah, how bad can this get? And then I'm going to go Dallas Cowboys. I know they were not a great disappointment to you, Jeremy, because you kept saying this team's going to be worse than you think they are. But did you think it was going to be this bad?
Who is it?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, I'm not. That one's not even on my list because I'm in no way surprised it's this bad.
I am supremely shocked that they are 5-8, and I get that injuries have something to do with that. But this team sucked before. They sucked before they lost Dak Prescott. 5-8 is abysmal, and it still makes me chuckle every time the notion comes up that Jerry Jones might want to stick with Mike McCarthy. You good luck with that. Every other fan of every other team in the NFL goes, sure, he's fine. You keep Mike McCarthy around.
I have an NFL team.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
You could not possibly have thought this team was going to be this bad, and I get it, Tua missed some time. But even with him, you have still not been all that impressive. I mean, you're not a playoff team to me by any stretch of the imagination.
Mm-mm.
You just got outplayed for 3.5 quarters by the god-awful Jets. They just got the memo from upstairs of, not doing this again.
Yeah.
Just lose, baby.
We don't want to win.
And then I think the final one has to be the Cleveland Browns. I understand that we all knew they had quarterback issues going in, but you had to think the defense was good. The defense has not been good.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's been good. It's all been a disaster. And now you look at how good that roster looked 2 years ago, and now it looks like a bomb went off in the middle of it. I would be very distraught if I was a Browns fan. Not quite as much as I am as a Jets fan, but it would be close.
Okay. All right, and then final selection here in the daily draft, biggest disappointments in football of 2024. And I'm going to go local. The North Carolina State Wolfpack.
I like that one, too.
I mean, we were talking about this is your chance to make the playoff. This is a team that could win the ACC, or at least threaten with Clemson and Florida State. You were going to be right there. Played the transfer portal well. I get the quarterback injuries didn't help you at all. They got a lot of other injuries throughout the season. You finished 6-6 and 10th in the ACC after going from y'all could make the playoff to good Lord. It wasn't as bad as Florida State's downfall, but geez.
So when we said they could win the ACC, we left out a couple words. They could win a few games in the ACC. I knew as soon as I watched them against Western Carolina, I have overvalued this by a lot.
Yep, when that was a one-score game and Western had a chance to take the lead there, I went, oh dear. Maybe it's just one of those games. Like you come out rusty, you get caught by a good FCS team.
And then the next week happened. And we saw it live in Charlotte, North Carolina when Tennessee beat them within an inch of their lives. I walked away from that and went, NC State's not good.
Yep.
This team's not good at football.
Yep.
Ches Johnson asked how we did an entire draft and didn't say the Houston Texans. I can answer on my end. I can't answer for him. There is still a possibility with Houston because that defense looks so good at times that if C.J. Stroud could get his head right now that Nico Collins is back, you could still live up to the hype. Like Houston getting a home playoff game, they could beat the Baltimore Ravens, and I would not be stunned. So I can't say that you're a huge disappointment yet because I could still see the path. Do I think that's going to happen? Not really. But I see the path. The rest of them, it's all over but the crime. We've already thrown flowers on your grave. I can't do that with Houston yet.
Yep.
So that's why I didn't pick them. I don't know if that's the same reason for you.
Houston would have been next on the list. It's been bad, but that team is so young that I think that takes some of the disappointment off for me. Because I had always I said during the preseason, like, yeah, CJ's this good, but what happens if the league has figured him out? Is this another Jalen Hurts scenario where we put him in the top 5, say he's one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL, and then second year didn't look too good? Same thing happened to Jalen Hurts in his second full year of starting. Stroud has followed that path. And I thought the team would be good enough to buoy him. And guess what? Pretty much they are. That team is good enough, despite the problems that he has had. They're still talented enough to be leading this division, even though everybody else in the division is terrible. But you're still going to make the playoffs. And like Jeremy said, if something clicks here the last 4 weeks of the season, it's not over. They still got a chance to make some noise. And I hope that they do. And I still have I have way more hope for them to do that, to make a little bit of noise. Are they going to make a Super Bowl like some predicted? No, that's not happening. But they can make some noise and make some people uncomfortable in the playoffs. I got more faith in them doing that than Ohio State making a run in the college football playoff. But it's a very good submission by you. The Sportsocracy is live here in the Ingalls studio. The Daily Draft, always brought to you by Dale's Pale Ale. We'll be right back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain's done now into the afternoon, falling temperatures into the mid-30s with maybe a snow flurry or a snow shower, especially in the hills with some of the gusty winds coming in. The highest elevations could get a snow shower. Tonight, partly cloudy, breezy, and colder, 25. Thursday, sunshine, breezy, and chilly, 42. Friday, mostly sunny, little bit better, 48. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500. Discount on eligible product only and reflected in quote. Restrictions apply. See Pro Desk for details. MVP's Pro Rewards program subject to terms.
Ho, ho, ho. Hey, Santa, what's with the green suit?
I'm going for a round at Green Man Brewery.
I don't think you have to wear green just to go to Green Man Brewery.
No, but it's nice to get in the spirit of things. They even have a white beard white ale, just for me.
Well then, let's head to the Green Mansion in downtown Asheville. I could use a round too.
Visit me at the Green Mansion, Sunday, December 22nd from noon till 2. Happy holidays from Green Man Brewery.
Breathe easier this holiday season with Zero Res Air Duct Cleaning. Mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get $50 off your next air duct cleaning. Use promo code AIR50 when scheduling online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
As we recover as a community, it's important to help each other. Hummingbird Insurance, as always, is offering free assistance to help you navigate your health insurance options for next year. Headquartered in Asheville, Hummingbird is one of the top-rated insurance agencies in the country. Schedule a free consultation to compare plans across multiple insurance carriers. The enrollment deadline is December 15th. We make it easier than hauling water. Visit healthcaresucks.com. That's healthcaresucks.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded. When you get tired of freezing your can at the tailgate, maybe it's time to ring in a new season. Tailgating season. Wherever you are, whatever the forecast, with good old ale, it's the perfect way to kick off game day. From Red Cup Revelry to just kicking it solo, you can't go wrong with Dale's Pale Ale, Dale's Light Lager, and Dale's Easy IPA. Honest ingredients, no BS. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you at the Tailgate.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com. Your one-stop custom apparel shops.
Christmas.
Hurry, they're gonna be up soon.
When families and communities come together in the spirit of peace on earth